Okay, friends, this was not supposed to be a two-part video, but with the attention it's gotten, here we are. So I want to say it's not that I'm receiving zero support on this video. Now this is not this is not a lot, considering other YouTube channels, but for my channel it is. This is the video that has so far gathered me the most subscriptions and the most likes. So I'm getting a lot of support as far as subs and likes go. But as far as the comments, the support is not making it there. What is making it there are men that are doing exactly what I'm speaking about in the first video. If you have not seen the U.S. gender war video that I posted 2 days ago, I will link it in the description. You can go watch it. If you'd like a little bit of context. Basically, the gist of it is in the video, I speak about how I'm tired of the general men and women arguing just because what the other person has in their pants. And I mean, I do mean generally. So this is something I probably should have got into in the first video is content creators. Okay? Content creators, I'm going to blow your mind here. They make money off of views, interactions, likes, follows, whatever. If you interact with the things they post, I don't care what platform it's on, they are going to get some sort of financial gain off of that if they get enough. Okay? So, number one, they are doing and saying, I think, a lot of what they're doing and saying for monetary gain. Okay? Now, what keeps people online and engaging the most is stuff that makes them upset. I know, it's a shocker. So oftentimes, and stuff they agree with. So I think that there are two sides to falling in line, three sides with falling in line with the gender war. One side is if you fall in line with the gender war of your gender, you will get a lot of interaction from people who agree with you. Honestly, I do not think that all of these people fully agree with what is being touted. I think a lot of them are upset. They have some kind of mental shit going on, and they're just trying to fit in. And I think a lot of the creators are just trying to fit in also. And I think that oftentimes it is an online thing, and while they may get in the comments and be like, yes, king, yes, queen, you're so right, depending on which side you're on, I feel like in real life, it's just, is it really? Yeah. You saying that with your boyfriend sitting beside you, saying that with your girlfriend sitting beside you, that you love and adore and cherish. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. But I can tell you right now, this gender war is not making dating easier. Okay? Break it. Break the chains. Anyways, let's get to point number 2. If it's not people agreeing with you, then it is people you are rage baiting, and they are interacting with it for that reason. And that is another reason that it's good for content creators to be so extreme in the way that they say things and the way that they think. Again, lumping a whole gender into a box and being like, and the third reason is not to receive backlash from said gender. Which, you know what's funny? You know what is so funny? When I posted this video, even though I know, like, let me point out something here. YouTube does typically not either send my videos to women or women just don't click them. I don't know which one it is. But most of my audience, since I've started this channel, now it was gaming before, that's fine, I'm just saying, have been men. Right? With that being said, I still thought when I posted this video that the women would be throwing shit at my face. I really did. I really did. And that's funny now looking back at it, because not a lot of women make it to my videos, which kind of in some ways makes me feel good about, I guess, the likes and the subs I've gotten, is because most of those are probably men. And that's like, okay, so I'm right to think that not all men are participating in this gender war where they like to throw shit at women because some woman said some stupid shit online, and so they must all have poo thrown at their face. It makes me feel good in that way, but The funny thing is I thought a lot of women were going to get mad at me. My whole comment section on that video is literally men going down there, probably clicking on my video and not watching any of it. I would be generous to say that these men in my comment section are watching 2 minutes of it. It's a 10-minute video. I would be generous to say they're watching 2 minutes because it's an average that it gives you. And the average watch time on that video is 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And with all the likes and subs I've gotten, I would say most of those people are watching most of my video. And with the amount of comments I have, I would say that these guys are not finishing my video if watching it at all. So they're probably watching even less than 2 minutes. 2 minutes is generous. I'll give them that. They're watching about 2 minutes of my video and being extra generous. And then they're going down there and proving my video right in the comments. Literally, if more women were finding my video and they just wanted to stick with their outlook on men as well and how they think about men and generally view men in the world, which I doubt, they probably just do that online. Again, I think that this is predominantly an online thing. I do not see it in real life. And as much as I see it online, I think a lot of people are faking it online and just not, they go to work and then pretend they're totally normal with the opposite sex coworkers they have. Literally, they're just going in the comments and being like, yeah, we don't like women. We do lump women all into a group and hate on them together. And they're just circle jerking each other like that in the comments. And I'm like sitting here totally invisible on my own channel, mind you, because they're all liking each other's comments and stuff. And again, it doesn't really this is, I expected this. I just expected it from my gender. But I guess I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm a woman speaking about how I feel about this. Dumb. I know I should have realized. I feel really dumb about it now, not realizing where I was probably going to receive the backlash from. I'm a woman making a video about how maybe men and women should try better to get along. And seemingly none of and another reason I think they're not watching it is because they seem to speak to me as if, one, I am touting and saying also all these things that women have said online. They're not, to be clear, they're not talking to me. They're talking to the women that have said the things they don't like online, but they're saying it to me. Do you know what I'm saying? You know how, say, when I was abused, right? I had talked to my now husband as if he was that abuser. That's what they're doing to me. But anyways, let's just go through some of them because I have not gotten a single like in my own comments. Actually, I think I may have got one. Let's see. I got 2 likes. I have quite a few replies. I've got 2 likes, in my own comment section. And it was on one where I was saying I feel the same way about the 2000s and then people just generally treated each other better. But that's not the kinds of ones I want to get into. Okay. So we have a comment here. Y'all chose the bear and screamed how horrible men are. I wasn't a part of that survey. I never went online, and I'm sure, I could be wrong. Every other woman alive but me may have done that survey and or went online and been like, yeah, got him. I don't know. I guess I wasn't there. Even cheering when one got publicly assassinated. Nope. I remember people around me even kind of being like, well, and I was like, I still think killing someone's wrong. Sorry, Felicia. That's not for me. Now that, with that being said, I didn't agree with the man. Okay. Everybody, what is it? A broke clock strikes 12 out of whatever. So everybody, even if they are horribly wrong about some things, will have a good opinion in there somewhere. So I'm not going to say, I probably will never sit here to say I disagree with absolutely everything that a person thinks, because that, in my opinion, is idiotic, because it's not going to be true. It's just not. Everybody is right about something. That's just life. That's people. That's humans. That's how they are. Now, y'all angry men are listening and not dealing with and paying for you. I want to talk about this real quick, the paying for you part and not dealing with. Almost every man and woman I know in my life are with someone of the opposite sex. I don't know a whole lot of gay people. I just don't. I'm in a fairly small town. I know a couple. Enough said. But and only out of like, and I know hundreds of people, and also some people are straight and they just don't have a partner, but most of the people I know do. But most of them, they are both providers. Yeah. So first of all, most of the men and women I know are dealing with each other in real life, and typically both of them provide for their family or, just each other. Now, me and my husband have done that for like a decade. Here and there, one of us has not had a job for a short period of time, but the majority of the time we've both worked and paid bills. Okay. So I don't really know women who don't pay bills, if I'm being honest, or haven't paid bills the majority of the time they've been an adult. I just don't. Maybe you do. That's fine. But anyways, let's get to my response. I'm sorry, did all the women gather together and do a victory dance for something that horrible and I wasn't invited? I mean, I wouldn't have showed, but I also wasn't invited to the bear versus man survey. Even if these aren't my things, I mean, if all women are going, I would at least like to be invited out of principle. A little smart, but sometimes I am. I'm not a dumbass all day, every day. And then I also wanted to talk about the man versus bear survey. I did mention this in another part of the comment, and I will not reread this part. I couldn't answer as a woman personally without asking some questions first. I'm going to be honest. And this is my problem with the survey, because I do have a problem with it. If you asked women the question and said the man came from another direction and looked to be as if he was hiking and wasn't out of place in the woods in the slightest, women's answer with just that little bit of information would probably be different, in my opinion. What type of bear is it? Because that honestly, if we're being logistic here and we're critical thinking, which we should, some bears are more dangerous than others. Could you say the same for men? Yes. And that is why, honestly, if I was pushed to give an answer, right? If I was held at gunpoint and they said, you have to answer this and we will give you no other information. We will not tell you what type of bear it is and we will not tell you anything about the man whatsoever, I would personally pick the man. That's just my personal opinion, because I think that the majority of men are, even with this comment section, I'm sorry, I think that the majority of men are not abusers. I think that they are out there. I think they're sick. I think they're fucked up. I've come into contact with more than I would like to admit, but I do not think they all are. I probably have a better chance with the man. Just as if I had to answer, that's my logic behind it. Anyways, what type of bear is the man dressed, or how was the man dressed? Is the man dressed? Bro, I said in the comment, I'm not even going to change it now because I think it's funny. I said, is the man dressed? Well, if he's naked, I'm probably picking the bear. Or carrying anything that gives him a valid reason to be out there. I meant looked like he was hiking, hunting, fishing, whatever. Have either of them been seemingly following me? I feel like that is a very hard question to ask a woman, honestly, when a lot of us have been abused in some way or another, or in all ways. Making the judgment of that answer being so harsh and a little unfair, especially when adding no context, the man could have just buried a body. How would we know? We have been trained to think like that. You can deny certain things all you want, but one thing you cannot deny is that women are trained that they have to protect themselves and they have to be wary and they have to be on guard. That is true, and men and women alike know that. That's my problem with the survey. But I see why men would be absolutely mind blown by the answer, because generally they have not been taught to fear other men in the same way. Okay? All right. So that was my response to that one. Do with that what you will. I'm really just reading these to you guys because, these guys are getting all kinds of, they're going down there and they're just liking each other's comments. And I feel like my replies, and I'm trying to be honest and I'm trying to be rational and I'm trying to reply to comments that I feel like, they can somewhat be a conversation around. Some of them are ridiculous. I'm not going to respond. But I think that it is important that we talk to each other. So I'm trying to do that, but it seems like no one is reading my replies. So here we are making a video about it. You're welcome. I'm tired of abusing you. You don't realize how draining that is on my mental health. Women, as they claim to be tired of all the fighting. Number one, I have no proof to give you that I have never been an abuser, but if you knew my life, you would realize how just absolutely that is a slap in the face to me, which I'm sure it was intended to be that way. They probably know, with me being a woman, that there's a really good chance that I have been abused in my life, and I even said it in the video. Again, I don't think they watched it that far, but we will ignore that. It's fine. We'll pretend that they didn't know. Women, as they claim, they're tired of fighting. Okay, my response. I'm curious. Do you genuinely think that women as a whole have a hive mind? Like you just said, women, as in women as a whole, claim they are tired of fighting, but that was me. I just said that, one woman. Maybe a lot of women said that. I don't know. I have found that views on the internet can mess with us seeing the truth in real life around us. For example, me listening to the internet was causing me to see things worse with my husband back in the day. Say we had an argument, I was watching Man Haters, so of course that caused me to view him and as just walking all over me, even if he wasn't, it was just a normal disagreement. Sorry, I'm not the best at reading. Making me realize there was actually a small group of women at the time profiting off of this as well. I saw a light I didn't see before. Is the problem that everyone has to see it collectively, or can one person at a time have the strength to see it, and then it moves through the population? I made a lot of grammatical errors there. I'm not going to fix it, and I'm not going to apologize. And I'm not getting any responses to these. Like, I don't think they're going to take my responses seriously, and I guess that's fine. But anyways, another person said, yes, they do. They'd rather be liked than do the right thing, saying that women do have a hive mind and they'd rather be liked by each other than do what's right. I guess we would say men do that also, because that is what my comment section is full of. And I guess what gets me the most about this is I wish it was filled with women doing the same thing to some extent, because then it would just be like a mirror with light bouncing back and forth, but at the same time, I want to see how many women watch this video, because if it's almost even, then the men in the comments would literally be showing evidence of that they participate more in the gender war here than the women do. And I would I don't know. When I made the video, I thought it was pretty even, but now I don't know. I'll have to wait and see the gender statistics on this video. Okay, I said I agree with a lot of that, but I do tend to think that the ones who would rather be liked than do the right thing are normally content creators, because they do live in an echo chamber typically, and they feel the need to fall in line. But I do think I am living a living example of regular women who actually don't hate men or lump them all in the same category, realizing people are individuals, which is part of the reason I'm trying to talk to people, because I think that really a lot of these guys in the comment section really just need to be reasoned with. Again, I think a lot of them are not acting this way in their real life because to some degree, they know most people are reasonable, including women. I don't know. Anyway, if we would argue not all men, wouldn't we do that with women and vice versa? That's a bad sentence. Fuck me. Men and women, I think, both tend to follow in line. I hate myself. With what's popular for their gender on social media to fit in, when that really doesn't fit so cleanly into real life. At least I'm getting my point across, even if my grammar is shit. Look, I had a busy morning, but I genuinely wanted to converse with these people. Maybe that's bad, maybe that's wrong, maybe I'm an idiot. But I'm like, I do believe that people can be reasoned with. I just do. Okay, and then we have, I don't talk to women I don't know anymore. Y'all said leave us alone, so we did. Now y'all are angry that we listen. Never said that. Never heard a woman in my real life say that. Just saying. Just pointing that out. Just putting that out there. I don't think I've ever actually heard a woman say, I don't want any man I don't know to talk to me. I have heard them ask them not be weird. Maybe I just have a different feed. But I do wonder, say, if you started a new job where you have to communicate with women but you don't know them, how do you handle those scenarios? I got zero response. Who is surprised? Because he does handle those scenarios. He does talk to those women he doesn't know. And so he's not going to respond to that because I just pointed out that he lied. Probably never going to get a response. When you point out people lie on the internet, they typically ignore it. But someone else responded. Yeah. You could say social medias don't count as people choose to be socially moronic on purpose, but in the feminist adjacent discourse, there have been women complaining about men trying to talk to them or wanting to split the bill as having the audacity to feel entitled to their time. In real life, it's less flagrant, Mike. I responded by saying, I for sure think that people tend to fall in line with their online gender echo chambers to fit in again. And that doesn't actually fit so nicely into real life again. I think it's part of the reason I really wanted to make this video because I really do agree it is not fully but mostly an online phenomena. I worked for the last few years with probably 65% males, 35% female, give or take, workforce. And I didn't see a touch of the online gender war atmosphere there with people in my day-to-day. 3 years. Not a single bit of it. Not even a little bit. Maybe that's just my life experience and it's not across the board. Let me know. Just leave me some just regular comments. No, genuinely, if you have worked with both men and women in like the past, I'd say this has been going on for at least 5 years, pretty hard. Let me know if you've experienced that in your work, where you work at or have worked at. So then we have, of course, there's a survey asking women if they would rather run into a bear or a man in the woods. This must be very popular on the male gender war side because it is brought up several times in this comment section. And this is why I'm like, this is part of the reason I'm like, they just went to my comment section to prove my point because they are touting the same echo chamber bullshit, which lets me know they're not thinking critically. They're not being individuals online. They're falling into their gender war stereotype and they're falling in line with each other so that they're not outcast in this. It's literally proving what I'm saying. Okay, sorry. And most women said bear, so they can have the bear. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen this survey. I've only heard about it. Okay, so I said the same thing that I said in the last comment, so I don't need to go over this. But I don't need to respond to the bear comment differently. I pretty much copy-pasted that shit. Women told men to leave them alone. No means no. Don't open my door. I can do it myself. Okay. Yeah, we're going to pretend that women go around and be like, don't open my door. I could do that myself. Never. Maybe I just live in the South. Never seen that happen. Not once. You know what I see? Thank you. And you know what I say every time? And most men say it to me because I open the door for men. They say, thank you. That's generally what people say. Don't be fucking lying out here on the internet. Okay, sorry. I can do it myself. I am a strong, independent woman that needs no man. I married a man because I wanted a partner. Look at how many people are married. Just go ahead and go look it up. Because, look, you want to know why people get married? Because they love and want that partner. Not because they're independent and they can do it on their own. Okay? I'm so sorry. For everything and choose the bear. No man blame us for everything and choose the bear. Literally, spent a whole video not blaming men for everything. Spent a video talking about how both sides were wrong and they needed to come together and have a kumbaya moment, okay? So don't blame us when we're going our way. If this is y'all's way, I'm incredibly sad for you all. Did I mention how the courts F over men, so why bother getting married either? You don't want to get married and you want to go away from women. That's fine. There are lots of men and women who choose to grow old on their own because they don't, for whatever reason, they don't want a partner. That's fine. That's totally fine. You shouldn't be upset when women say they don't want a partner, and I'm not upset when you say you don't want one. That's totally fine. But here's the problem, is if you're lying to yourself and me too. Do you really want to go your own way? Do you really not want to get married because some women take men for everything they have? Or would you be okay with finding a woman you trusted? Because here's the thing, that's what a lot of men do. You know what a lot of men do, and women alike? They find someone they trust to marry. It's going to be very hard for you to find a woman you trust to marry, if that's what you want, with this kind of attitude, okay? You're not going to trust her. She's not going to trust you. And that is a recipe for disaster. If you want to marry a woman, you need to change your mindset so you can find someone that you really trust, that even if you did get divorced, you would know for damn sure she would not unreasonably take things out from the marriage. My husband's not worried about that. You want to know why? It's because he found someone he trusted. I'm not worried about him cheating. You want to know why? Because I found someone I trusted. And this is what's so sad about this comment section is I think that most of these men are probably single and they will remain that way or abuse whatever partners they get, probably mentally. And same for women who have these types of mindset towards men. They're either going to remain single or abuse their partners mentally because they have a bad mindset about them from the get-go. Neither one of you are going to get anything that is worth anything from that relationship, maybe other than to... And really, what's that worth at the end of the day? You could have done that by yourself, men and women alike, okay? Maybe I'm going too hard in the paint in this video, but it's just, I don't know. Okay, and so I had pinned a comment similar to this to the top, and I said, I do want to be so clear I'm speaking to both men and women in this video. I don't think most of them watched it far enough to know that. I think both of them need to realize that people are stoking the flames online. These flames online are profiting off them fighting and arguing. I honestly don't think the general population of men and women actually feel that way, that they just think they do because everyone is chronically online now listening to these hateful idiots making money off their views and engagement. Okay, look, I know this video was a shit show. Okay, I'm fully aware. If you made it this far in the video, leave a comment that says shit show. It was bad. It was not well put together. My grammar was garbage. I was in a hurry. I was typing fast. I'm probably getting a little angry because they didn't pay attention. And they didn't pay attention to such a degree that they reinforced my video in the comments. ANNOYING, annoying. I'm going to be totally honest with you. More than anything, it is annoying, but it is sad. Because who am I to say these people don't deserve love? The men and women that act like this. Look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I think that everyone deserves love. And I think it's really sad that they're all just making damn sure they don't get it. Because even if you do find someone with a mindset like this, it is going to be an incredibly toxic relationship on one side or both sides. And it is not going to do anyone any good, and it's not going to be what you really wanted. So if you really want a good relationship with someone of the opposite sex, especially, because a lot of the times I feel like this is a straight couple problem inherently. My point is, if you want a relationship with someone of the opposite sex, and you want that to be a good and healthy relationship full of trust and love, you are going to have to fix your mindset about the opposite sex. That's just how it fucking is. I don't know what else to tell you. Look, I'm not here to baby anybody. I'm just trying to be honest with you. You're fucking up. Like, if you genuinely want that person laying inside you at night, if you genuinely want that person laying beside you at night that you can fully trust and talk to about anything, and that you would trust with your life, you're not going to get that in these echo chambers, hon. It's just not going to happen. It's not possible. Okay? So put down your pitchfork, go forth and seek love and acceptance. Okay? Anyways, if you would like to like this video or subscribe, that'd be cool. If you don't want to, I'll try again next time. Just comment whatever the fuck you want, because it doesn't matter at this point, does it? Have a good day. Bye.